Say a rising tide brings all ships up, but does that mean a sinking tide is going to bring all ships down, as we have seen the economy in a little bit of a downward spiral, perhaps a big downward spiral if you look at the entire trajectory of it over the last year or so, as we have seen a number of big articles come out in the last 24 hours. One of them, though, one in particular, one stat, one study, one thing to keep in mind, does suggest that a lot of big energy is coming for Dogecoin, and that right there is something that you should definitely hold on to. A little bit of optimism in the belt, despite some of the more negative things happening in the market right now. As you come into the live stream, make sure to take a second to press that like button. One like equals one new individual coming in. It actually helps the channel a lot, and we can continue to spread our message and hopefully entertain as many people as possible. That's the goal right there. That's what makes it fun, right? We want to entertain. Get the popcorn, because we have quite a good show today. Make sure, by the way, if you're new, to subscribe with the notifications on. Notifications keep you updated in real time, and make sure that you do not miss all of the important and breaking news alerts. Silk Road, Bitcoin for sale, U.S. government, linked addresses. We'll start off with some bad news, then I'll get into the good stuff here, the juicy stuff. U.S. government is now looking at 1 billion in BTC, a sale potentially of it, so they're gonna likely unload a decent amount of BTC into the market. Now, it's not enough to cause a crash, but it's still a pretty large amount of Bitcoin. This that they were able to get from the Silk Road quite a while ago, and now it appears through these transfers that they're planning to sell it, or at least do something with it. I mean, I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but they're going to do something with it. And so, of course, this is worth monitoring, because the last thing we want to see is more sell pressure on BTC and on the cryptocurrency market right now. How does that help Doge, says Dirk Jensen. What are you referring to? What helps Doge? I'm going to get to that in 1 second here. We'll get to that right now. Let me go ahead and show you exactly what it is and why it's both scary and also something that can maybe give you hope with Dogecoin. Not that it's worth it, I guess. I mean, we don't want to be cruel here, but I mean, it's just simply the truth. Take a look at this. This right here is Social Security and what is expected over the next 75 years. As you can see here, CBO insolvency date 2033. This is when we are expecting the government to no longer be able to keep up with the demand for all of these payments for Medicare that have been promised and are continuing to be promised. As you can see here, Medicare right there, the cost of it is continuing, and the overall expenses from this department have continued to rise. We are right here right now, and it's projected that as people get older, as we start to see more and more advancements in technology and medicine, these people who are on government assistance will be living longer, including us. So we will live longer, right? If we're on government assistance in the future, or if we're just getting Social Security, which it technically doesn't necessarily qualify as government assistance, but it's still part of the same umbrella of the government not having enough money to cover all of the bills, period. There's just simply not enough to go around for everything, and it's going to be pretty extreme in 2033 when all of a sudden they're no longer able to continue writing checks to people, and will cause massive issues. It's at the point where you may not even want to participate in these systems anymore if you are young, because you probably will never see a return on your investment. If you're forced to participate, well, you can hope for the best, maybe be optimistic that something dreamical will happen, to make a new term that's never been used before that I just created. Dreamical, I like that. You can see the amount it's increasing is not even coming close to the amount that it's going up. And Paul Krugman, by the way, this is pretty hilarious. Take a look at this, and I'm going to show you. Paul Krugman actually weighed in on this and almost going to happen with Social Security with one of the worst takes I've ever seen. Look at that. The viewers are building up. By the way, with MoonPot, we just had the marketing start for it. People clicking on it, hopefully going to be joining the MoonPot community, as this is directly targeting BSC users through the buy bot advertising. Of course, at this point in the market, we only have room to go up pretty much for the most part with a number of important cryptos. And so that's going to bode well if we can see a bit of a spike with an entire market. As this marketing is happening, it will definitely be good for MoonPot. And of course, just the beginning of the journey, MoonPot has a number of things up its sleeve that people don't even know about yet. But of course, I believe as the market looks better, MoonPot will surpass it. And of course, let's be honest. I mean, we've been saying we're excited about the market looking better for a while now. But we've also been very clear about the fact that we do have to be patient, most likely until later 2023 or 2024, to see the crazy gains that we've been anticipating for the entirety of the lower market. We're gonna have to wait a little bit longer still. We've known that since the very beginning. Anyone who's in cryptocurrency understands the cycles. If you've been in for long enough, you get that, right? So, been watching over 2 years, it says Colton Edwardo, but I was gonna say, so a little more patience. It is what it is. Take a look at this. So this is pretty funny. So Paul Krugman, who if we scroll back quite a ways, he did say this: cryptocurrency lets you make electronic transactions. We can go to the tweet itself. Electronic transactions without bank accounts, debit cards, PayPal, Venmo, etc. All these are methods which involve trusting a third party, but unless you're buying DRUGS or, you know, taking some people out, that's not a big deal. Paul Krugman, nah, cryptocurrency is not worth it. And now Paul Krugman's saying, too busy to tweet. Of course you are, Paul. What are you busy doing? Stroking your own ego? Too busy to tweet, but not to vent. I've been using Venmo for years, but now it won't allow me to... You are tweeting, though, buddy. This guy's... What a handful. It won't allow me to make payments. I spent a long time in chat with representatives, and they told me they can't explain why or fix it. The software has taken over, and I believe Venmo actually, because of course, him having this week of somewhat viral, getting attention from people in the cryptocurrency community saying, it's almost like it is valuable to have cryptocurrency. A come to Bitcoin moment. Pretty funny there from little Paulie, and of course he's getting destroyed. Perfect example of why he doesn't like Bitcoin. He couldn't get special treatment from the protocol. What do people do that don't have 4.5 million followers? Oh, that's a good question. What do people do that don't have 4.5 million followers? So we'll go here. And tweeting got results. A representative called, and we seem to be up again. Yeah, if you don't have 4.5 million, though, what are you going to do, little Polly? This guy is perhaps one of the most pretentious people on the planet. Paul Krugman is. My goodness, what a dude. But to circle back to this, Paul says Social Security is not sustainable, or he says it is sustainable, rather, but it's really not. And not even close. This article, right on the money here, showing exactly why Paul, who says if we just increase taxes 3%, then surely we can cover it. That's a very nice thing to think, Paul. I would certainly love for it to be the case that it would be a simple solution, but it's just not that simple. The gap is widening to such a large degree in terms of Social Security, and the truth is this will be huge for Dogecoin and Bitcoin. No one's going to want to participate as it starts to get worse in the system that is existing. People are going to desperately be moving their money into new systems of finance. There will be all sorts of financial vehicles that are already being created now. They're in the works that are released over the coming years that allow people to actually do things like retirement type savings and do things like retirement programs and plans and even Social Security type things through a cryptocurrency method where you don't have to rely on the government to actually be the provider. You can just do it yourself through cryptocurrency. That's going to be the future. That's where there's going to be so much value brought in, and where the prices of crypto have the ability to truly skyrocket is going to be as we get closer to 2033. Now, of course, we're not expecting to have to wait to that point to see some pretty incredible gains, but the overall arching theme here is that if you are willing to hold your cryptocurrency until you retire, you're not just going to be a little bit rich from it, you'll be most likely in a generational wealth category, even with a relatively small sized investment at this current point in time, which is a huge deal when you're not going to be getting your Social Security payments, right? You're screwed. You're young right now. Are you going to have a system that can catch you when you're old? When you can't work anymore? When you don't have the muscle strength? When you don't have the cognitive ability to continue going to work every day? When you don't have the energy? Are you going to have a system that is there to catch you? Are you going to have an ability to retire and live on your own? Well, you won't if you're in this system. So what do you need to do? You need to get cryptocurrency. It's that simple. That message is only going to continue to be louder and louder and louder and more important as we move into the future here. Something that is absolutely worth considering. And by any means necessary, you need to make sure you are part of the cryptocurrency wave rather than one of the people who is relying on this. It's just not the smart move at all. Will Elon make a Dogecoin tipping system on Twitter? Absolutely. He's already working on that. That's coming. He has promised it multiple times. Yes, he is. Elon Musk also said, which I am of course happy to hear, that he plans to make Twitter the #1 financial place in the world. I can go ahead and show you this tweet here. He said more specifically, not just the #1 financial place. Oh, by the way, did you see that? Yeah, Elon Musk, he admitted he was wrong. It's definitely It's definitely a good quality of a leader when you can't admit you're wrong. I don't know if you saw this whole story here, but he ended up firing an employee, and that employee, now he's offering for him to come back because the dude's a good guy, and he didn't want to. He didn't want to fire him for no reason. Basically, he was wrong about something, and in order to own up to that, he said, all right, you can come back if you want. But the guy, he's worth $100 million. He was fired because the truth is he really didn't have that much of a role at Twitter anymore. Elon Musk was technically right about that, but at the same time, Elon can find a role for someone like that who actually has the ability to create a company that was worth $100 million. That's what he sold it to Twitter for. People like that, who are willing to actually put their time and effort into Twitter, should definitely be kept at the company. It's absolutely worth it. So, just something to keep in mind there. But by the way, this guy still owed a decent amount of money from Twitter. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. You can see right there, we're in the top 100 for Twitter, which is definitely cool to see. Right there above Vigilant Fox, two spots below Mr. Beast. But finally, we'll go ahead and find the tweet talking about what Elon Musk said. I believe. Oh yeah, there's my daughter there, her little hand. Maybe it's up a little bit further. There we go. He plans to make Twitter the biggest financial institution in the world, period. And he doesn't just plan that. He actually said he believes it's possible. He believes it's going to happen. That he will make Twitter the #1 financial institution in the world. Meaning beating JP Morgan Chase, beating the Chinese bank that has grown to be a pretty massive financial institution. It's currently #1, actually, the Bank of China, the #1 bank in China. So to compete with that, you have to have smooth, seamless transactions, and you have to also combine that with cryptocurrency, undoubtedly, as the future moves forward, which of course is the only thing it can do. It's kind of hard for the future to go back. It's going to be even more important to do that. And Elon Musk, of course, is working on multiple different ways to implement that. You already actually have multiple cryptocurrency features integrated into Twitter, and there are more coming, especially in regards to Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD coin. Here's the current rankings. Dogecoin, at number 8. It has gone back above Polygon after Polygon saw a pretty significant decrease. Now it's in the 8th spot. It was at number 10 actually not that long ago. So Dogecoin's holding stronger than some of these other cryptos in this market. Solana is now all the way down to 7 billion. Some pretty big fallage for Solana. Actually, a lot of cryptos really taking huge hits. Shiba Inu down to 5 billion. Dogecoin now at almost double Shiba Inu coin, which is a wild thing considering there was a point when Shiba Inu briefly passed Doge. And so you look at the market here and you have to look at Dogecoin and be somewhat proud of it, that it hasn't fallen further. It still has fallen though, which is, I mean, you can definitely criticize it for that, rightfully so. Come on, Dogecoin, what the heck were you thinking? You shouldn't have fallen so much. Tether though, now is at a point where it has close to 50% of the entire stablecoin market. Take a look at this. You can see 54% has surpassed the biggest market share for stablecoins that Tether has had, USDT, since 2021 November, which is an indication that people are trusting less and less and less these other stablecoins out there and trying to go to bigger names, because you would think it would actually, regardless of any factors, it would decrease the share as more stablecoins get pushed out there. But people are scared. They don't want the stablecoins to crash, and so they're saying, all right, well, I know this name a little bit more. I'll go with that. Yeah, definitely press like. Come on, what are you waiting for? Give the like button to press over there. What about Doge launch? It says April 1st on their website, Space TV or something. April 1st. Wait, did they change it to April 1st? Oh, no. You guys better not have done that. There's no way. He's referring, I believe, to the Doge 1 satellite, which is different from the Dogecoin moon mission. Two completely separate things. But if they have not moved to the April 1st, either that's genius, or they're just yanking our leg, and they've been playing a prank on us this entire time. Which it's not that one. I mean, we know it's not that one. I would say the most likely scenario at which they would change it to April 1st would just simply be something along the lines of, that's not even the real date. They're just doing that to be funny, and they're actually, I believe they're supposed to launch it within the coming. Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess it's March, April. Yeah, so they're supposed to launch it within the next, maybe, no, actually, I bet you they're doing that on purpose. I think they're actually going to launch it on April 1st. Based on the timeline we've heard, it's supposed to be coming soon. We know that. In Q1, they initially said, well, it's going to be potentially a little bit, it may take until Q2. If they can't pull it off in April, they're barely making it by the neck of their knickers there. XRP, USD, BNB, With the last month. Hopefully they pull it off. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually real. I think that could actually be the date. I'll have to look into that more because that is a recent update that I have not seen yet. Thank you for notifying it to my attention, which is, I guess, going to be a great next video. We can talk about that. BNB, Tether, Ethereum. At this point, they're all. I mean, they're all in a little bit of a free fall. I mean, look at that: 8%, 5%. Dogecoin 13%, Polygon 15%, 18% for Solana. I mean, those are the top ones, right? But if we scroll down even further, 20% for Filecoin, 22%, you start to get into territory where a lot of these really small ones compared to the top, 38% for STX, huge fallage for some of these major cryptos. That right there is where it starts to get into really scary territory. But anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand. Be optimistic about a couple things and be scared of a couple things. That's the final message, and I'll see you in the next video.